on ABC at 8 o'clock. No Ordinary Chickie. New show starring Michael Chiklis. You're in episode 3, but I'll tell you, Chickie, you are looking strong on there with the superpowers. Took a slow guy and made him fast. I love it.
I jump a quarter of a mile at a time. It's not bad.
That's not bad.
I don't have the speed of Julie Benz in this show, but I can jump.
And she is gorgeous, too. What a beautiful woman to play your wife.
10 kinds of beautiful. She's amazing. We're very competitive, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because she always jokes that she doesn't have a real life. She has a cyber life because she just lives on Twitter. I mean, I'll be in the room with her and she'll tweet me. I'm like, Julie, I'm right here. And
what are we, Ashton into me? I mean, this is crazy.
So I affectionately call her at Julie Benz.
Oh, that's perfect.
Because her name, is at Julie Benz on her Twitter, and mine's at Michael Chiklis, by the way. Chiklis.
At Michael Chiklis.
Well, but she's like she started tweeting like when it first started, and she's got like 70,000 followers, and I have a feeble like 18,000 followers. So she's like, "You're gonna catch me, I know it." I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna catch you. You're gonna out-tweet me. Don't worry." She's like, "It's all I have. I have a cyber life. You have like a wife and children."
She's single?
Yes.
Ooh, she's gorgeous.
Yes, Billy, go easy.
Well, I mean, she's gorgeous. How could a woman like that be single? I don't know. She must have a lot of suitors, though.
Yes.
Do they wait outside the studio door, like when you guys are inside on stage doing stuff?
It's funny being around because Julie's my pal and she plays my television wife, and it's funny watching men watch Julie Benz.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I sort of go like, "Oh, look at that."
Funny. And you get to you walk in the role, you walk in the shoes without finishing the job.
Oh, Lord.
I mean,
so to speak. Yeah.
That's fair.
That's fair.
You get to smooch with her a little bit, and it's all a day's work.
All day's work. Yeah. Tough day at the office.
Michael Chiklis in studio from No Ordinary Family on ABC. He is the star of the show, and not the first time he has had a major television show for ABC. He was the commish back in the day. For how many seasons? Was that 3 or 4?
Well, we did 4 seasons, and then we did a 5th season, which was Movies of the Week. So
yeah. As the commish, you're a 27-year-old kid playing a 40-year-old commish, right?
Yeah, now I'm a 40-something-year-old man playing a superhero. My career's ass backwards. Completely ass backwards.
I was going to say, there's a little bit of irony. It's funny.
Yeah. It's you called it No Ordinary Chickie?
No Ordinary Chickie is what I call it.
You're like Regis Philbin. Regis last week was going, "No ordinary people." No, and I'm like, family. No ordinary people. Like, no, it's family. Regis family.
I just go with you, baby. It's No Ordinary Chick. But Chick, you're doing how many of your own stunts here? I mean, you're jumping off of tall buildings. Look, you're an older guy. You're married now. You're not exactly 25. You're 40. You got to stop.
I do a whole lot of them, but I try to avoid the ones where I could be killed. Look at that. There's Michelle calling me. I guess she doesn't.
Your wife? Let me see. I don't know.
Oh, really? Oh, that's funny.
Hang on. Hold on. Hey, baby.
Hi.
How you doing, gorgeous?
Oh, no.
What are you wearing?
What am I wearing? I'm wearing my Superman outfit. What do you think? Hey, Michelle.
What are you guys doing?
Michelle, you're on the air.
No. Sorry, Michelle.
Oh my God, no.
Michelle, my name is Victor, and I'm currently giving your husband a massage. He's very, very stiff from all the stunts he's been doing. And I will say this, at the end of the day, very limber man.
Oh, no.
These are things you know.
I can't believe she started with, "What are you wearing?"
That's how you keep a marriage healthy, Chickie. You ask, "What are you wearing?" and then she wants to know.
She just wants to make sure I look good on camera.
Michelle, should I put you over to the Chick Man?
Sure.
There he is. Billy Bush, by the way.
I think she got that, Billy. Hi, honey. You're live on the radio.
Am I really?
Yes. Did you hear that? Yeah. Am I really? Yes, you are.
What are you wearing? These are the things that...
No, more importantly, what are you wearing? Honey, I love you, but I'm going to call you back when I'm off the air, okay?
And tell you what I'm wearing.
And tell you what I'm wearing.
Okay.
I love you.
Or I can tell you now, Michelle.
You saw what I was wearing. I'm wearing that flannel. You like it. Harkening back to the 90s, grunge era.
Yeah.
Very good.
accentuated with leather boy shorts.
Oh my Lord. Goodbye. Love you.
Call in live.
What's that?
I stalk you guys. How
Yeah.
can I hear you guys?
You stalked me. We're live. We're on.
You're
the air.
on, baby!
Honey, you're live on the air. This is just getting. It's getting to be too much now. I'm. My head. You should see it. It looks like a red light bulb.
Okay. Love you.
I love you too.
It's a one-man red light district.
Ugh.
Chickie, there's a woman who loves you. She wants to know what you're wearing when she calls you.
Absolutely. You know, we're partners in crime. You know, she's behind me in everything.
Let me ask you. I've been married 13 years. How long you been married?
18.
Okay, 18 years. Been with you through the ups, through the downs. Thank God there's been more ups. So when you see longtime Hollywood couples been together and they collapse, does it piss you off? Do you not care at all?
Well, you know, I actually root for people. It makes me feel sad. You know, because I root for people especially when I see a couple that I think is really good together. You know, I get a little sad, obviously, to see people break. But
Well, you get sad. I get a little mad. I mean, I get a little like, come on, Nick, you can do it. I always think this: if you're two actors, maybe it's one of those things you both need too much attention or something.
something, right? Exactly.
What's going on
You know,
here?
I'm very fortunate. You know, my wife and I. You know, listen, I usually avoid. I'm superstitious, so I avoid talking about my relationship because it's really sacred to me. So I usually don't talk publicly about it because that's mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's yours.
So let's move on.
Okay. Well,
is what I'm trying to say.
she's a lovely lady.
Yeah,
That
love
is
her.
for sure.
And my children are everything to me, and you know, you have to think about that.
Michael Chiklis is with us in studio. No Ordinary Family, ABC, 8 o'clock, Tuesday nights. What do you say to Glee? Take them down. Sue Sylvester versus Chickie. Who wins?
You know something? I'm competitive, man. You know, Glee's a great show. I know a lot of people involved in that show, and so what? Watch my show instead.
Yes, that's a good point. And by the way,
TBR them.
our executive producer here at Access Hollywood, Rob Silverstein, also a good buddy of Chickie, said he was over at Chickie's house one night. They were having a little party or something. Chickie can sing. So forget about Glee. He says you were pulling out some old Sinatra stuff.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
no,
you're a
listen,
singer.
well, I can do that stuff, but I'm more of a raspy rock and roll singer. As a matter of fact,
What's your go-to when you're at a cocktail party and maybe the Chickie's had an extra beer? What is his go-to song?
Well, things like raspy rhythm and blues tunes like, you know, Midnight Hour or, you know, those old tunes like Mustang Sally, those kind of things. And but I got a band now, you know, out of nowhere. You know, I used to be in bands all through high school and college. That's something that people really don't know about me. And I play 4 instruments. I was a drummer,
Wow.
and I sing, and I play bass and guitar. I grew up in a very musical family. My mother studied opera, and my brother's a sick musician. So I was in all these pretty great bands, and out of nowhere, I made a little recorder. A room like this size, I made a recording studio in my house about a year and a half ago while I was shooting this movie in Detroit, Michigan, and my best friend from home, who was the guitar player in all of my bands, came out and he said, "Chickie, you can't walk into Guitar Center and buy recording equipment. You'll walk out $150,000 light. You know what I mean? Let me go in there. I'll buy you what you need, and we'll build out your studio." So that's what we did, and we bought out. We built out the studio. And the next day, he wakes up and says, "Let's take it out for a test drive." So we did a version of "Oh Darlin'" by the Beatles. Recorded it in like 3 hours, and then he had to go back to Boston, and I went back to Detroit to
Are we
continue.
talking, oh, darling?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but only in the original key, dude.
All right, go ahead. Give us a...
"Oh, darling," which is
Woo!
yeah.
Chickie, keep going.
"Please believe me."
Yes!
Yeah. "I'll never do you no harm." Yeah, so.
That was hot, man.
So I just like a 14-year-old kid, I went back to the set and I was hanging out with Adrian Brody and the guys in the movie, and I said, "Look what you can do at your house now." Because when I was growing up, you couldn't record digitally recorded material at home. You had to beg and scrape to get into a studio for 6 hours to record it. So I got to talking with the director about it, and he wanted me to record something for the soundtrack. So I ended up doing a single. He said, if you could write a tune that's like a 1978 throwback, Aerosmith meets Boston, that would be awesome. So I said, well, I grew up in the 70s in
please.
Boston.
It's your
I
wheelhouse.
probably could do that, right? So I wrote this tune, and it's a stoner comedy, so I wrote a tune called Make Me High. And it's cheeky, it's a funny, it's not something I would write today, but I wrote it for the soundtrack. In any case, he loved it, put it in the end credits of the movie. And they loved this song so much when we opened at the Sundance Film Festival, he called me and said, Chicky, you think your band could open before the movie?
That's great.
And I said, yeah, except for I don't have a band. It was just me and Bobby. We recorded all the instruments, just the two of us. So I put together this band of session players. We did mostly covers because we only had the one original, and we played for about an hour, and we tore the roof off this place.
Oh, God.
We had a blast. It was fantastic, and we looked at each other and went, wow. Hey, maybe we should.
We gotta do this.
Maybe we should do this. And so now we're trying to bank tunes and hopefully get a CD out at some point. That'll be fun.
Isn't that great? Michael Chiklis is here. Chicky, obviously legendary in the role of Vic Mackey on The Shield, for which he won Emmy and Globe. And I got to ask you, big screen? What about a big screen movie?
It's a possibility. Look, it's certainly a